just minding my business. I don't have to smile. Now, if you speak to me, and I don't say, that's another pet peeve I have, if I say good morning to somebody, like I work or
and
something,
they don't say
and they don't say it back. That is rude.
Yeah, that's really rude.
How were you raised? Like, I wouldn't do that. Now, but if I'm just, like, minding my business and I'm not smiling, doesn't mean I'm angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's, like, another thing. Like, if I say good morning to you, like, I would never, like, let somebody say good morning to me and I don't say anything back.
Yeah,
that is
exactly.
So
or
rude.
when they greet you and say hi, I always say hi back, or they ask you how you are, like, oh, I'm good, how are you? You know, like, I've had people do that, too, where they just keep going, and I'm like, I know you heard me. I spoke loud enough. Like, come on. Like,
I need to start being ignorant with it. Like, even at work, and especially, like, where I work now, it's, like, in an office, so it's, like, kind of quiet. So if I say good morning, you don't speak, I'm like, I said good morning, and people, like, notice. Like, I will embarrass you. Like, hey, if you would have just spoke back and been polite, you wouldn't be embarrassed right now.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, he said something about the headphones. I hate when I'm trying to listen to music and someone keeps talking to me. I have to keep pulling my headphones out. Like, oh, you're still talking.
I know, right? Well, I feel that's rude to even try to talk to someone with headphones in, because it's like, come on.
People don't take no type of hits.
That's
true. Anyways, we have a top 5 for you guys today. And, you know, it's all peace, love, and tranquility over here at the lounge. But today we also talk about things
we're
we
being
love.
haters.
Today we're being haters. we're being critics today. We have the top 5 worst movies that we've ever seen. Now, you know, we say that our stamp is gold over here at the lounge, but today we're talking about the things that we would consider coal.
Coal.
What's the
coal
opposite of gold?
Well, yeah, that's
stay away from it. Okay, we're gonna tell the movies. Stay away from these movies. We didn't like it. We didn't like it at all. Okay, worst movies you've ever seen.
Yes.
I want you to kick it off. Number 5. What's your number 5 worst movie you've ever seen?
The Scary Movies past Scary Movie 3. So that whole, what do we call it? Like, series of movies. They're just, like you said, the first and second one are tolerable, but, like, when you start getting to the third and fourth ones, it's, they're not funny, and they're obviously not scary because they're supposed to be spoof movies. So they're just like horrible to me. And I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of crap for that because I know a lot of people like those series of movies.
I think people pretty much like the first 2. I don't know if they're really too into the ones that follow after that.
Yeah, they just kept getting dumber and dumber to me, and just not funny anymore.
So, for me, my number 5, I actually had a different number 5, but then we brought up Planet of the Apes earlier, and I changed my number 5. It was originally going to be After Earth. Now it's the 2001 remake of Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Especially when, you know, we see Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and how excellent those movies are. So when I think back to the Tim Burton version, it just pisses me off. Because I didn't like the costumes. I didn't like the acting. Mark Wahlberg's acting was horrible in that movie.
And Mark Wahlberg's usually such a great actor, I know.
Yeah, he's alright, but he's never horrible, so I wasn't, like, sure what was happening in this movie. And I didn't like the twist that made no sense at the end.
Yeah.
And then there was no follow-through because there was no follow-up to the movie, so it just kind of got left hanging there. And, you know, the original Planet of the Apes is a classic, and I just didn't like what they did with the 5th one.
I agree.
What's your number 4?
My number 4, I'm probably going to get a lot of crap for, too, is The Lord of the Rings.
Get her!
I did try to watch it. It was super, super, super boring to me. I just don't think it's my taste. I'm not saying it's the worst movie ever, but I'm just going to say it's the worst movie to me, or one of the worst movies to me, because it's just not my cup of tea, I guess. Like, I wasn't into
Lord of the Rings is long.
And boring.
It is
to
long.
me.
There is some excellent parts of the movie, but I think the second one I watched, we accidentally watched the uncut part or whatever.
Okay.
So it was like even
more longer.
And I was like, oh my god, why is this movie so
why do
long?
movies have to be so damn long like that?
No movie should be that long. But
aside from Titanic.
Yeah, even that movie's too long. No movie should be that long. But I definitely wouldn't say Lord of the Rings is anywhere near the worst movie I ever saw. But it's not for everybody.
Yeah, it's definitely not for me.
Yeah.
Because it made my top 5
Lord of the Rings is not like movies I'll rewatch. You
Yeah.
know, like on a daily basis. Like, just like, put on Lord of the Rings. No, definitely not. It's too long. But my number 4 is a movie called The Village.
I've never seen that.
M. Night, don't. Okay, and it just pains me because M. Night Shyamalan made this movie. He's actually on my list a couple times, and this is the man who made Sixth Sense. This is the man who made Signs, and then he made The Village. And I'm like, what happened here? Why? Listen, and it had a twist, and the twist wasn't good. It wasn't scary. That's
it just fell through.
I don't even. Movie. Yeah, even if the twist wasn't excellent, as long as everything leading up to it is good, and it has a story that makes sense, and it's scary. Like that's all I need is the scares, and the scares weren't there.
Aww.
So I was really disappointed.
Well, at least I know not to watch that movie.
Yeah, definitely. and we're gonna be talking about him more as this list goes on. But what's your number 3?
My number 3 is this recently came out, I believe, like a year ago. Unfriended. I'm not too big on movies that are all in one place. There has been some movies that have pulled it off, like Phone Booth or like Man on the Ledge.
Like, you liked Phone Booth?
I thought it was okay. I was okay with it, but this one for me just kind of completely. I didn't like it whatsoever. It was just too all in one place, and they were all online, and you couldn't really see what was going on.
It was like on a webcam, right?
It was all on the webcam. Yeah, she was killing them because she had she had died months before, and I don't know.
MTV movie. What did you expect? I mean, MTV is not known for making good horror movies.
That's true. No, they had a good one. There used to be this one I watched that MTV made where her dad was a serial killer and. Something about a roller skate rink or something, and it was a horror one. And it was actually really good. And
sounds great.
And her dad ended up coming back. Like they think that they killed him or something, but he comes back to kill. I don't know. It was some serial killer movie.
I'll have to Google that.
I'm gonna Google it right now while you give your number 3.
My number 3. Oh, M. Night is on here again.
That's so sad.
It's so sad. It's this movie called The Happening. Another one of the. I didn't. It's not even that it didn't make sense. The whole storyline and concept of the movie was horrible to begin with. And he did After Earth with Will Smith, and Will Smith said that M. Night Shyamalan, I can't say his name, has never had a bad concept. It's just always the execution that isn't good. And when it comes to Happening, I have to disagree with Mr. Will Smith. Because I thought the concept was horrible. It's like literally, have you seen this movie?
No, I haven't.
Literally the concept is this. It's like a wind that's going. It's gonna sound so stupid the way I explain it, and it's like a wind or something. It's the trees or the wind or something. It's like some kind of chemical in the air that makes people kill themselves in really strange ways.
That actually sounds kind of cool. You're intriguing me.
The air makes you commit suicide. That sounds like something you would want to watch.
There is such things as air warfare. Like you can release something into the air that can get into people that kills them. That's like diseases and stuff from other countries. So I mean, it's not
diseases or anything.
I know it's not.
It's like they take a weapon and they throw themselves off the building. Like literally,
the whole concept of killing themselves. That's a little far fetched. But I mean, there are airborne type. Things like that could, but not making you kill yourself, but there's some things that can cause illnesses.
Once again, Mark Wahlberg, second time on this list for horrible acting. And then the girl with the big eyes that looks like Katy Perry, I can't think of her name. She played his love interest. They had no chemistry whatsoever. She was on that show New Girl, and I love that show. But,
yeah.
Zoe Deschanel, her.
Yeah.
No chemistry there, horrible acting. There's no, a lot of horror movies, there's a villain or something to fight, or you know what I'm saying? You can't fight air, so they're trying to outrun it, but you can't outrun it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just wasn't really good, and there was no payoff, and everybody was really annoying. So I've been really disappointed in him because he's made some of my favorite scary movies, and he's made some of my least favorite movies, period. So I can't trust him anymore, and I don't think. He came out with a movie last year with the found footage thing called The Visit with the crazy grandparents.
I didn't like the way it was filmed. I mean, the movie was okay, but I didn't like the way it was.
Not good. It
wasn't good.
It just barely missed this list.
Yeah.
And I can't trust him anymore. I can't trust his movies anymore. What's your number 2?
I found the MTV movie. It was called My Super Psycho Sweet 16. And it was around the time that they were making the Sweet 16, so they ended up making a horror version of it. And that movie was actually pretty good for an MTV movie, right? I thought so. So I kind of changed my number 2 because of what we were talking about. I have to say those Sharknado movies. Oh my goodness. Like, I cannot stand those movies whatsoever. The graphics on that movie are horrible. The concepts of the movies are really stupid.
That's the movie with Tara Reid, right?
Yes.
Those movies are actually really popular.
They are. That's why I'm so
it's
shocked.
It's like a B movie, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. You got to remember, though, it's a B movie, so it's not supposed to be good. It's not supposed to be great. It's supposed to be so bad it's good.
It's a little too bad. I don't know. Like, No, I can't stand those movies.
And guys in the chat, you have to tell us which movies you think was the worst movies that you've ever seen. I know Dre's saying that he liked the scary movie ones, even though you said you hated them. Dre said he likes them. All right, my number 2 actually was going to be The Human Centipede, but this one actually beat it out. That's Jack and Jill.
I've never seen it.
The Adam Sandler movie. Another person that I
never
can't trust.
watched it. Yeah.
Another person I can't trust. It was just so. It's a comedy, and if you're straight faced through a whole entire comedy, like not even a chuckle,
then it's a bad comedy.
yeah, and it's not even. It's not. I don't know why he's allowed to continue to make movies, and that sounds so bad. But Adam Sandler hasn't had a funny movie, I think, since like.
Yeah, he has been. His movies, the latest ones he's come out with haven't been good. He used to be really funny and good, though, back in the day, I feel like.
He used to be hilarious.
Yeah.
He had like a streak of good movies, and then it's like now he doesn't even care. He doesn't even try.
No.
I feel like he doesn't try anymore to be funny. I think he makes movies to take a vacation to some tropical place with Drew Barrymore, and that's like the only thing. It's like, no, Jack and Jill wasn't good. I think that's the worst movie he's... Dre just said something crazy. How could you... Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon used to be one of my favorite movies, and he just said he hated it. I can't believe it. What did you hate about that movie? I thought that movie was excellent. What's your number? Did you do your number 2 yet?
Yeah, I already done my number 2.
What's your number 1?
My number 2 was Sharknado movies. My number 1, given that they just made a new one that just came out, the original Blair Witch Project. That movie was so horrible. You couldn't see anything that was going on because the camera was so shaky. And this was like before they got kind of better at making like personal view like movies like that. But that movie, the end was even horrible because you didn't even see what happened. I think like the camera fell and then like someone got dragged and that was it. So it was a horrible movie. I did not like it, and I wasn't thrilled that they were making a remake, but I heard this one's better, so we'll see.
But we also have to give Blair Witch credit, or be bad at it, depending on how you look at it, but that's kicked off this whole phenomenon of found footage films. And I don't know if you look at it as a bad thing or a good thing, but I mean, Paranormal Activity revived it, but definitely 100%.
It derived from Blair Witch.
Yeah, it started with Blair Witch, and they was trying to do the whole thing, like market it like it really happened and all this stuff, and it worked.
It did work.
It became like huge, and when you look at it, it's like you don't see anything.
Yeah, nothing.
This
you
whole
don't see
entire
nothing.
movie, and it's like, and I don't like when in horror movies they show the villain or creature or killer too much, because then it takes away from the scariness, but to not show anything at all whatsoever, but just like a close-up of people's faces and like snot like falling on the camera. I hate that shot.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I mean, I don't agree with you saying that's still like the worst movie. I've definitely seen worse horror movies than that, but I can understand why it wasn't. And I saw that movie when I was 8.
Yeah,
I watched it by myself.
I was young when I watched it too.
Wasn't scared at all.
What's your number 1?
My number 1, this worst movie I've ever seen, hands down, period. The Wicker Man. The remake with Nicolas Cage. This is a movie you show to somebody if you're trying to punish them. Or you're trying to torture information out of them. You just tie them down and make them watch Wicker Man 15 times in a row. You will get the information that you're looking for.
It sounds familiar. I don't know if I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a remake of like a 1976 movie, and I guess the original was really good. And then they did it again with Nicolas Cage. And Nicolas Cage is already not my favorite actor.
Yeah.
Like almost every movie he's in, I feel like he's like miscast, and it could have been so much better with somebody else, except for Kick-Ass. I really liked him in Kick-Ass.
I liked him in the Unknown, or Knowing or something like that.
The Knowing.
The Knowing.
I actually did like that movie.
I liked that movie.
I
and he was in
forgot
it.
all about that movie.
But